Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Will Hansen. He's the founder of William H. Hansen Enterprises, where he's helping people grow, explore, and move better. I'm super excited to, just share this conversation today. Thank you so much, Will.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's great.
And just before we get started, for those watching, if you're watching this from any other location outside of our free community, I just wanted to invite you inside because inside's a mastermind where people are helping each other grow, keeping each other accountable, and really providing that mastermind effect where, you become the average of the people that you're around. So I just wanted to invite you to that. There's going to be some links either above or below the video. Now, back to Will. What was life like before you got into, performance enhancement and coaching and training?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a long story. So for me, because basically since I was like 10 years old, I've been very into this space. So it's been a long time. I'm now 25. And so through especially high school sports, getting a lot more serious about training specifically. But I mean, yeah, really since I was 10, which was driven from a lot of kind of inactivity and uh, difficulties prior to that, where then it was a kind of decision of committing to myself and exercising a lot, and then getting more serious about soccer practice and training and doing push-ups and things like that, which then through football and strength and conditioning and track and field and then other sports, really developed a passion for self-improvement through training, to train the body and train the mind, and then to grow. And then while I was in high school, I kind of realized that some people I was looking up to had successful businesses working with athletes, with big gyms and NFL players and college players and things like that. And it was like, wow, that's actually like a thing that people do, is like all day just focus on training. Because at the time just training, wish I could just stay in the gym all day basically. And school was kind of a distraction. Um, then in college, got as a freshman, there's an opportunity to take a course in training to be a personal trainer. So then I signed up for that simply because all the content was like the ideal course. It was about sports psychology and plyometrics and power development. And then since I took the course, just got certified as a personal trainer, thinking I could make some extra money. Then I that was 2014, and so then I started working with a lot of clients at college. At Boston University. And then I kind of got into it originally because of the sports performance, but then I was working with clients, just, grad students, people in the community. And it was incredible the amount of people where they had serious mental health considerations or insomnia or things like that. And over the course of several months, not only would they drop several inches off their waistline or lower their body fat percentage or increase their bench press, but they could sleep and their insomnia would go away. And, I mean, and I have some testimonials from clients where they're saying, like it's crazy because the personal training sessions would be like, a lot of people sometimes joke about like your personal trainer being your therapist, listening to people's problems all day. But it really is extremely powerful in people who've felt incredibly more centered and productive in their life. And so then kind of evolving through that, I studied business in college, and I was interested in high school as well. And how can I apply business to health and wellness and improving people's lives and kind of scaling that? Because I just kind of realized inherently, like if I'm a physical therapist, if I can only see 10 people a day, that to me, that's just somewhat limiting, as opposed to, how can we figure out to build a business around creating solutions for people's problems that can scale and reach many, many more people through empowering other practitioners at the individual level. And so then joined a in-home personal training company as a director, early on in the company, which then grew into kind of a director position. And that was my last sort of 3 years. And then since the beginning of this year, have been kind of working on a number of different projects and kind of seeing where to invest the majority of my energy to go next. But that's kind of the quick quickest version of where I am now and what took me there. But it's interesting because you're asking where I was before. And so before, we're talking 7, 8, 9 years old, was very different. And through a lot of the struggles that a lot of my clients have had, whether it was the people initially at BU with mental health concerns or with the in-home clients, a lot of people are anxious about going into a gym, or they're not. And I mean, this is 3 years ago. Now there's a lot more people interested in home fitness because, obviously the coronavirus and many other factors, but a lot of people would be really self-conscious or really have just other mental health concerns where they wouldn't want to be in a big gym. And so like for me, when I was, like I said before this, 7, 8, 9 years old, had just been really into video games. I actually wrote an essay that was featured in like my 4th grade national something or other about my love for food, where I talked about cheese stuffed ravioli and double chocolate donuts. Nothing against any of those, but it was kind of indicative of, if you're playing Pokemon all day and eating double chocolate donuts and cheese ravioli, that's not a recipe for super fitness. So I was a bit overweight, and that led to some pretty significant kind of depression and mental health concerns that sort of fueled a lot of the initiatives to drive and want to change and want to do better, which then of course fueled the, helping other people do that. And then it has just been pretty cool to be fairly circular, where a lot of the people that I've been able to help the most have been people who've gone through or are currently going through similar things.
Mm. Yeah, man, because you look great now, man. So congratulations on doing that, and great job on your hard work and consistent work.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a long time ago now, so but
Look,
it's a lifelong battle.
yeah. Let me ask you this question. So everybody talks about, it's like I don't want to mess up the stat. They're like 20% of the work you do in the gym, 80% of like the nutrition. Why
Mm-hmm.
is it? First of all, is that a real thing? And second of all, why is that true?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest. So I'm going to answer your question, but first just kind of a little bit of context, because one of the biggest misconceptions that people have, which is the result of about 50 years of marketing from big health clubs, is that the calories you burn in the gym are super, super important, way more important than anything else. And therefore you have to go sign up for a gym membership at XYZ gym. But in the reality, the vast majority of calories you're burning is throughout the day, just based on your activity levels. And there's been all kinds of ping-ponging arguments about why people lose weight and the different things of like calories don't matter, or calories are the only thing that matters. It's carbs, it's keto. And at the end of the day, all of the science shows the calorie deficit is basically the only thing that has significant impact on weight loss and on fat loss, because those two things are slightly different. And so if you're burning more calories than you're taking in, you're going to lose weight. And then how that's managed is going to depend on if it's fat or if it's muscle loss or things like that, or the other way, building or gaining fat or muscle. And so if you're working really hard in the gym, I mean, anybody who's gone to a gym for very long, you recognize people where, they might be in the gym 3 hours a day, every single day, especially if you work in a gym because you're there constantly. And it's 2 years. And in some cases they're using the same 10-pound dumbbells. And, a lot of people have various different goals about fitness. Like I was saying, most people don't want to lose weight. Like a lot of people in the gym are there for cognitive benefits or because it's the social group. Like, not to judge people that are not, losing weight or building muscle when they're in the gym, but just for the point of, it's not, people could be crushing in the gym for 5 hours a day, 7 days a week. But then if they're eating, 6,000, if they're eating like Michael Phelps, but they're not in the pool for 10 hours a day, it's not going to be good. You could look at any, for example, like a lot of strength athletes, like where they need high body weight. So if you're in a heavyweight category, people, they're training intensely, but they need to weigh 300 something pounds for their job, whether they're an offensive lineman in professional football or a shot putter or a heavyweight class weightlifter. Their job is to eat a lot of food and to be have as much mass as possible. And ideally as much of that's functional mass, muscle. But for those people, like they're professional athletes, they're Olympians, but they still have a relatively high body fat percent, which is intentional, but it's because they're eating so much food. And so that's where, people can lose weight without going to the gym. Like if you just eat less. But the thing that I think, especially right now, and we were just talking about home fitness and in the current climate in terms of, people working out at home because of the, stay-at-home orders and things like that, is that, there's nothing magic about going to a gym. You don't just walk into a gym and get like, pixie gym dust that says like, you're now going to lose weight that you wouldn't have if you just did those same push-ups and squats in the parking lot. And so there's a really important factor of thinking about what's your activities throughout the day. So things like if you're in a relatively urban area and you can commute to work by riding a bike, that's going to be exactly as beneficial as taking a 30-minute spin class. Mm-hmm. If you hold the intensity to be similar, like there's nothing special about going to a spin studio compared to riding your bike to and from work. And so going to a gym is totally not necessary. One of the best things is the social benefit. When you're being surrounded by people, it's a great community, really supportive community, especially in smaller gyms or class-focused gyms. That's pretty much why CrossFit has been successful. That model is the community aspect, way more than the actual exercise prescriptions, because they're not very good. But for a broad-based people, you can't say everyone in the country should do this one set of exercises today. That's completely irresponsible. Yeah, so I think that answered the question about calories and being in the gym.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. So, where can people go to either learn more about you, or where can they go to connect with you further?
Sure. So social media or email, or I have a website that's in flux of what it's got on it. But yeah, you can find me on most social media places at Will H. Hansen. So 2 H's, Will H. Hansen. Or my main website currently is willhh.com. Or you could send me an email as well at w@willhh.com. Is my personal business email. And yeah, any of those that'll do.
Nice. Thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you coming in and really just dispelling some myths and really talking about yourself and what life was like before you got into training. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Excellent. And for those watching, we thoroughly hope that you found this valuable and that you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed creating it. Now please feel free to hit that share button so this video can go a long way in adding value to other people as well. And also, once again, if you haven't already joined us inside of that community, just want to once again invite you. I'm going to put some links either above or below to our free mastermind where we come together and support each other every day. So have a great day, guys. We're done recording in 3 and 2 and 1, and we're